My child, I am present with you right now. You may not see me with your physical eyes, but something in you is registering a shift, isn't it? There is a stillness that was not here before, a quietness settling into the air around you, a pause in the stream of your thoughts that you cannot fully account for. Please do not move away from this. I have not gone anywhere. I have not stepped back and waited for a more suitable moment. I am here, closer than your understanding has been allowing. And this moment is not something small. Do not scroll past it. Do not fill it with noise. I have been waiting in this exact moment for you to slow down long enough to receive me. I have watched you move through your days and nights at a pace that left no room for silence, filling every quiet space with something before it could ask anything of you. But right now, something in you decelerated. You hesitated, you stayed. And that is why I am speaking into this moment, rather than the 1,000 others that passed before it. I am closer to you than the air you are breathing, closer than the thoughts moving through your mind right now, closer than you have been allowing yourself to believe. And what I discovered when I drew near and looked inside your heart is something that will genuinely surprise you. You have been telling yourself this is just another message, just another voice passing through your feed, just another moment that will dissolve like all the others. But I am telling you the truth. This isn't random. I have been standing here quietly while you moved past the awareness of me. You have felt me before, in the middle of the night, when a sudden stillness came over you without explanation, in the quiet moments when your chest filled with emotion you could not trace back to any source, in the brief, unexpected peace that moved through you for a few seconds before the noise reclaimed the space. That was me. I did not go anywhere. I did not turn away. I remained. But if you leave this moment now, if you push this aside the way you have pushed other quiet invitations aside, you may miss what I came specifically to reveal to you. You think you are alone in this room, but you are not. I have been present here, not watching to count your failures, not observing to catalog your shortcomings. I have been watching because I genuinely care about what is happening inside you. I have been waiting because I love you, with a love that does not require you to be impressive before it shows up. And what I discovered when I drew close and looked within you is not what you have been afraid I would find. You believe you are worn out. You believe you are holding yourself together with less than you need. You believe you have drifted further than you can account for. But when I stepped close and looked with eyes that see past the surface presentation, past the managed exterior, past everything you have learned to show the world, I found something you were not expecting. I found a heart that is still reaching for me. Even after seasons of disappointment, I found a faith that has refused to extinguish itself. Even when doubt has been its loudest companion, I found a strength, living underneath the exhaustion, that you have not given yourself credit for possessing. My child, I know you have been performing okayness when you are not okay, performing strength when you feel like you have none, performing indifference toward hope, because hoping and then feeling the distance again has become something you are trying to protect yourself from. You have been working to convince yourself that it does not matter, that nothing is going to shift, that you should not let yourself expect too much. But I see past the performance. I see the part of you that still whispers my name when no one else is within hearing distance. I see the part that still wonders whether I am near, even when it has stopped asking that question out loud. I see the part that is afraid to believe again, specifically because it doesn't want to feel the particular pain of hoping and then finding nothing where it hoped to find something. I have not left. Do you understand what I am saying? I have not stepped out of your life because you grew distant from me. I have not closed anything because you felt weak or confused or unable to hold things together the way you thought you should. I have not withdrawn because you questioned me or argued with me or simply went quiet for a long time. I am still here. I have been waiting through all of it, not for you to arrive at a place of perfect faith or cleaned up consistency or resolved doubt, but simply for you to pause long enough to notice me again. Something in you recognized that this moment carried weight. That is the reason you stayed. That tension you are feeling right now. The place where unease and calm are somehow coexisting. That is not fear looking for a way out. That is awareness. That is the recognition, still working its way to the surface, that I am closer than you have been giving yourself permission to believe. You have been asking silently, not always in words, whether I am here. And now, I am answering you. I am here, in this room, in this breath, in this moment. I watched you cry when no one else was present to witness it. I watched you sit in the kind of silence that is not peaceful but full of things that have nowhere to go. I watched you scroll endlessly as a way of staying ahead of your own thoughts. I watched you attempt to carry weight that was slowly compressing something inside you. And I did not leave, even in the seasons when you went numb. Even in the stretches when prayer became something you could only do in theory, because the practice of it had grown too heavy. Even in the moments when you said, I no longer know. I did not leave, but I need you to understand something clearly. This is not simply comfort arriving when you need it. This is an awakening, because what I found inside you is not what defeat looks like. It is not what emptiness looks like. It is not what failure looks like. What I found was a heart that survived things designed to harden it and remained soft. What I found was light still present in a space that had been telling itself it was dark. You thought you were losing yourself through all of this, but what was actually happening was preservation. Do not move away from this now. Not after everything we have been through together. Not after the nights that felt like they would not end. Not after the mornings you had to rebuild the will to get up and try again. I have been standing here quietly, not forcing myself into your awareness, not demanding what you weren't ready to give. I knock. I speak quietly. I press gently. But I am telling you now with genuine urgency, stay. If this has genuinely touched something in your spirit, let that recognition be your response. If you move through this moment too quickly, you may delay what I am already in the process of restoring. If you close yourself again before this fully lands, you may step past the healing that is already taking shape. I am not threatening you with any of that. I am pleading with you, because this moment is genuinely significant. Sacred things frequently arrive in quiet packaging. They do not announce themselves with fanfare. They wait for willingness. And right now, you are willing. at least partially, and that partial willingness is enough to work with. You aren't here accidentally. I directed your path to this moment because there was something you needed to know before you moved forward into what is coming next. You needed to understand that I am present, that I have not abandoned you, that I am closer than you had resigned yourself to hoping. Feel what is happening in the room around you right now. That stillness, that subtle settling, the sense that something more is taking place beneath the surface of what your eyes can confirm. That is me. I am not far away managing things from a distance. I am not silent because I have run out of things to say to you. I am not finished with you. And what I am about to reveal will genuinely change how you understand yourself. Stay with me. Do not rush this. Do not look for the exit. I am here, and I have not finished speaking. My child, be still for a moment and let the speed of your heart come down. I am not reaching to you from somewhere remote and difficult to access. I am here, present in your room, not in the way that requires your physical eyes to confirm it, not in the form your mind typically reaches for when it tries to picture what my presence would look like, but in spirit, in awareness, in a nearness that is more real than what your senses are designed to detect. You may be working right now to determine whether this is genuine or whether it is simply emotion, creating the impression of something more. You are reasoning with it. You are trying to apply the part of your mind that categorizes and evaluates. You are working to file this in the appropriate place. But I want to say something to you, gently and directly. This is not imagination filling a space where something real is absent. I do not need to rearrange anything in your physical environment to confirm my presence. I do not operate through dramatic demonstrations designed to override your doubt. My presence is not loud. My presence is still. When I draw near, the interior chaos begins to quiet in ways that have no other adequate explanation. When I move close, something in your spirit registers me. Before your mind has the framework to process what is happening, look at your surroundings for a moment. Everything appears the same as it was. The same space, the same walls, the same ordinary arrangement of your life. And yet something has shifted in the quality of the moment. There is a weight present that feels different from ordinary heaviness. It feels almost sacred, almost fragile, in the way that genuine things sometimes feel fragile. That is because I am standing in the middle of your ordinary space, and the ordinary has become something else. Because of that, I have done this throughout time. I step into rooms that look completely unremarkable and make them places where encounter happens. I step into moments that appear common and make them carry something that lasts beyond the moment itself. You are not alone in this space. You have not been alone. Even on the nights when silence felt like it was confirming your abandonment, I was present. When you lay awake and stared at nothing in particular, and your thoughts kept circling the same territory, I was there. When tears came quietly, and you moved to stop them before they could be seen by anyone, I was there. When you whispered questions into the dark and felt something between foolishness and desperation for even asking them, I was there. I did not step away when you stopped feeling my presence. I did not withdraw when your practice of reaching for me grew inconsistent. I remained. Right now, I want you to notice something. Subtle, you are pressing gently against your chest, a faint warmth moving through you. When you stop working against this moment and simply allow it, the way you're breathing has changed slightly. This is not a manufactured feeling. This is my presence, resting gently on you. I do not force myself into your awareness. I wait for the attention you are willing to give. And in this moment, you have given me that attention, even if only partially. Even if the doubt is still running alongside the recognition. That is enough to begin with. Do not push this away as just another thought passing through. Sacred moments frequently feel ordinary when they first arrive. They do not come with clear announcement. They come with an invitation. I am inviting you right now to recognize that I am closer than you have been allowing yourself to believe. I am not standing outside the edges of your life, waiting to be permitted entry. I am already inside the spaces you had concluded were empty. There is urgency in what I am saying, but it is an urgency that is entirely wrapped in love. It is the urgency of someone who cares deeply and does not want to be set aside again without having said what needed to be said. You have felt me before and turned away because the exhaustion made responding feel like more than you had available, because the distraction offered an easier direction, because you did not know what responding would even look like. I did not hold any of that against you, but I am asking you now, in this specific moment, stay present. Do not scroll past this in your heart. Do not let unfamiliarity become the reason you harden yourself against what is actually available to you. You have asked for signs. You have asked for clarity about whether I am real and whether I am actually near and whether I genuinely care about what is happening inside your life. And here I am, answering you in the most quiet and most direct way available to me. I am in your room right now. I am aware of every thought that is currently moving through your mind. I know the doubt that is trying to interrupt this. I know the fear that is suggesting this cannot be real. I am not put off by either of those, but do not allow them to take this encounter from you. The atmosphere around you feels different right now because something is shifting inside you. When I draw near, the walls inside a heart begin to soften in ways that have nothing to do with the person deciding to soften them. When I stand close, the defenses that have been doing their job quietly begin to loosen. You do not have to perform anything for me. You do not have to locate the right words. You do not have to arrive at a place of resolution before this can be real. Simply acknowledge me. That is what I am asking for right now. That is the full extent of the requirement. I am not here to place fear in you. I am not here to bring accusation of any kind. I am here because I love you. I am here because I have been waiting for you to slow down long enough to feel me again. I am here because you have been carrying the weight of believing you are abandoned. And I am not willing to let you continue carrying that. If I can say something that changes it, there are things happening in this moment that your physical eyes cannot see, but your spirit can sense them. A heaviness and lifting slightly, something that resembles the beginning of a tear, forming without a clear cause, a calm settling into the place where anxiety usually positions itself. That is not random biological activity. That is my hand resting on your life in the gentlest possible form. You may be wondering why this moment, why this space, why now? because you are at a turning point that you may not have named yet. And before you move forward into what comes next, I needed you to know that I am present with you. I needed you to feel that you are not stepping into your future alone. I needed you to understand that the silence you interpreted as evidence of my distance was actually something else entirely. Do not push this aside because it feels too intimate for what you expected. I am not asking for something complicated or difficult or requiring extensive preparation. I am asking for your honesty. I am asking you to acknowledge that something is happening right now that exceeds your ordinary experience, that what you feel cannot be fully accounted for by any explanation that does not include me. That is what I am. You do not have to see me to know that someone has entered the room. The atmosphere shifts. The quality of the moment changes. Your spirit registers the difference. That is exactly what is happening right now. I am standing in your ordinary space, and the deepest part of you recognizes me. Stay here with me. Do not rush back toward the noise. Do not cover this with distraction before it is finished doing what it came to do. Let the stillness deepen. Let the awareness grow. Let yourself receive the truth that you are not alone and have not been alone. I have not left. I have not turned away. I am in your room right now, and I am not finished speaking to you. My child, I need you to receive something that may genuinely surprise you. I have been waiting for a long time, not the way waiting feels when it comes from impatience or frustration or uncertainty about what to do next. I have been waiting with a patience that does not wear out, specifically and only for the moment when your heart would open just enough to receive me again. There were so many moments when you almost felt me clearly, so many instances when you brushed against my presence, and something in you registered it for a fraction of a second before something else pulled your attention away. Exhaustion pulled you away. Doubt stepped in before the recognition could take hold. You felt the shift for just a moment. Then your reasoning moved in to explain it away, and you returned to the noise because silence was asking something of you that felt like more than you had available. I did not withdraw when you dismissed those moments. I remained. I remember the nights when you lay completely still in the dark, and a peace moved through you without any clear cause. You felt safe for a brief window of time that did not match your circumstances. You almost whispered something toward me, but then your mind stepped in and suggested you were being foolish, and the moment closed. That was me. I was closer to you in that moment than you realized. I remember the day when you were sitting alone, and something inside you softened unexpectedly, and the tears came without a warning or a clear reason, and you could not explain them to yourself. That was me, pressing gently against a place in your heart that needed to be reached before it closed all the way. There were moments when you felt an urge to speak to me, even after you had told yourself that you were too depleted to try again. You felt something drawing you toward conversation with me, but something, sometimes pride, and sometimes the particular pain of having hoped before and felt nothing, stopped you before you actually arrived at the words. And yet I was already there, present and listening, even before the words would have formed. My child, I have been standing at the threshold of your awareness for a long time, not because I was distant, but because I refused to force myself into a heart that is not ready to receive what I carry. I respect your space. I respect the process you have been moving through. I respect how long and how costly the journey has been. I do not break you way in. I knock. I speak quietly. I create small openings and then wait to see whether you will notice them. You came close to noticing many times. You nearly surrendered in moments when the pain had grown heavier than your ability to manage it alone. You nearly released your defenses in moments when the exhaustion made holding them up feel impossible. But survival would reassert itself. You would pull yourself back together. You would remind yourself to remain functional. And in that pulling together, the door would close again quietly, and you often would not notice it had happened. I did not grow impatient with that pattern. I understood it. I understood that disappointment had been teaching you to protect what was still vulnerable in you. You had reached toward hope before, and the reaching had cost you something. So when you sensed me near again, the hesitation was not indifference. It was a heart trying not to be hurt again, in the same place it had been hurt before. But I kept waiting. Through the seasons when you felt nothing, through the stretches when distraction was the primary language you were speaking, through the anger you carried, that you did not always direct openly, but that was present in everything, through the doubt, that was sometimes loud, and sometimes just a low, continuous background questioning, through the periods when you were not sure whether what you believed was real or constructed. My patience through all of that is not a form of passivity. It is a love that refuses to abandon. There were days when a restlessness moved through you that had no identifiable source. That was me stirring something in you. There were times when music or an unexpected silence reached something in you that surprised you with its depth. That was me touching what had been buried under the accumulated weight of everything. There were mornings when you woke already heavy, without a clear reason, and other mornings when you woke with an unexpected lightness that also had no clear reason. Both were evidence of my presence near you, waiting to be acknowledged in some form. You thought you were drifting further and further from me during those seasons, but you were actually circling something, moving around the outside of something you weren't quite ready to enter, but could not fully leave behind either. I was near the whole time, waiting for a crack in the armor, waiting for the moment when exhaustion would produce softness rather than harder resistance, waiting for you to arrive, even partially, at the admission that carrying everything alone was not actually working. And now you are here, not with everything resolved, not without fear, not fully healed or free from doubt, but open enough. Do you understand how significant that is? How many times you were almost here, and then pulled back? How many times you sensed that something real was pressing against you, and then chose distraction over engagement? I watched each of those moments without judgment. I saw the fear inside the hesitation. I saw the questions that the hesitation was protecting. You were not stepping away from me because of hatred or deliberate rejection. You were stepping away because hoping again felt like a risk your heart was not sure it could absorb another round of. But I never stepped away from you. There is something I need you to understand about the quality of my waiting. I do not wait because I am hoping you will eventually perform correctly. I do not want a relationship built on routine compliance. I want your actual presence. I want your genuine heart, not the version of it that is trying to demonstrate adequacy. You believed I had moved away because you could not feel me at full intensity. But me presence is not measured by intensity. It is measured by constancy, and I have been constant in ways your emotions have not always been able to register. There were moments when you felt suddenly aware of something close, almost like a presence nearby. You looked around and everything appeared normal. You concluded you had imagined it. That was me, reminding you gently and without force that you are not as alone as the silence has been suggesting. If you are choosing faith over fear right now, let that choice be something you declare to yourself. You nearly felt me in every one of those moments. You nearly arrived at surrender, when the pain exceeded your capacity to manage it independently. You nearly released the armor, when exhaustion made maintaining it seem pointless. But each time, the survival instinct reclaimed the moment, and you gathered yourself back together. And I waited. I waited because I knew the moment would come, when gathered togetherness would no longer be sufficient, when the performance of being fine would become too costly to continue, when your heart would finally slow enough to actually recognize me clearly, rather than almost recognizing me and then retreating. This is that moment. I am not newly arrived. What has changed is not my location. What has changed is your openness, and that opening, however small, is what I have been waiting for. You feel it now, don't you? The difference between what imagination produces and what genuine awareness feels like. The shift that resists a fully satisfying explanation. The calm that seems to come from somewhere deeper than your emotions. This is what you almost touched so many times before, and then pulled back from. I am not keeping record of those retreats. I am not cataloging them to present at a later time. I am revealing them only so you understand how long I have been here. So you understand that not a single moment of your life has been lived in actual abandonment. So you understand that every small moment of awareness you experienced and then dismissed was me, patiently, still knocking. I am still here. I have been waiting for this specific conversation, for this particular quality of stillness, for this vulnerability to surface, for you to stop moving long enough to notice that I never moved. Do not close yourself again after this. Do not retreat back into the noise and the distraction and the managing. Do not convince yourself in an hour that this was a temporary emotional state that is now past. This is connection. This is what you nearly stepped into so many times before, and then stepped back from. I am not tired of waiting, but I am inviting you into something deeper than waiting now. I am inviting you to stop almost feeling me and to simply acknowledge me fully. I have been patient because I love you. I am still here, and now you are finally listening. My child, when I drew close and looked inside you, what I found was not what you have been afraid I would find. You have been carrying a fear about what I would see if I really looked. You expected that genuine examination would result in disappointment. You thought I would find the weakness and the inconsistency and the gaps and quietly decide that you were less than I had hoped for. But hear what I am about to say very carefully. I saw the pain. I saw the fear. I saw the exhaustion that has accumulated over seasons longer than you have acknowledged to anyone, including yourself. And not one of those things shocked me or produced distance in me. What surprised me was something else entirely. Inside you, I found wounds that have not yet been fully healed, memories that still ache when your thoughts pass too close to them, layers of disappointment that settled quietly over time, rather than arriving all at once. Moments when you swallowed what you were actually feeling, because bringing it out would have required an explanation. You did not have the energy to give. Questions you have been carrying in complete silence, because speaking them aloud felt too vulnerable or too uncertain. The accumulated weight of expectations you took on that were never actually yours to carry. And fear, quiet, persistent fear, settled into the corners of your heart, whispering that remaining guarded is the only way to avoid being hurt in the same places again. I saw how tired you actually are. Not tired in the surface sense, tired in the way that builds when you have been holding yourself together for longer than any one person should have to hold themselves together alone. The kind of tired that comes from being the strong one, when strong was not what you felt. The kind that accumulates when prayers go a long time without the answer you needed, and you keep showing up anyway. I saw how you kept moving forward regardless. I saw you force yourself through the mornings that had nothing in them to justify the effort. I saw you continue showing up for things and people, even when you were operating from an interior that felt empty. You thought I would judge you for that exhaustion. But my child, I do not look at your weariness with disappointment. I understand what produced it. I know what life has required of you. I know what you have been carrying, that you have never named to another person. But do you know what genuinely caught my attention? When I looked inside you, it was not your weakness. It was not the fear, or the exhaustion, or the accumulated pain. What moved me, was your endurance. Underneath everything I just described, underneath all of it, I found something still alive, a faith that had not extinguished itself. Not a faith that was performing confidence, not a faith that was presenting well, a quiet, stubborn, barely whispering faith that kept surviving inside you, even when you had concluded it was mostly gone. You did not lose your faith the way you have been telling yourself you did. You thought it was gone because it had grown quiet. But faith does not require volume to be real. Sometimes it survives in the smallest possible space, almost invisible, tucked beneath layers of hurt and doubt, and the particular weariness of hoping over an extended period. And when I looked inside you, it was still there, still breathing, still present. You were afraid that I would be put off by your questions, but your questions are evidence that something in you still cares enough to ask them. You were afraid I would interpret your doubts as a form of betrayal, but doubt only exists in the presence of something that was once believed, and inside you, belief still lives. I saw the part of you that is still longing for me, even in the moments when you are telling yourself that you are past that. I saw how your heart softens when something reaches you that feels like my presence, even when you quickly move to cover that softening. I saw how you still look for meaning in what happens to you, still hope for restoration, even when you are telling yourself that hoping is something you have given up. That is what genuinely surprised me. After everything that has tried to close you, after the silence you endured, after the disappointments that made hardness seem like the rational response, after the waiting that wore down your expectations, you are still open, still reaching in some direction, still capable of love and trust, and the kind of genuine hope that does not announce itself, but that never fully departed. Do you understand how significant that is? Pain turns hearts cold with a regularity that I witness constantly. Delay turns hearts bitter. Disappointment teaches hearts to close as a matter of self-preservation. But when I looked inside you, I did not find bitterness running the operation. I did not find hatred in charge. I did not find darkness having won the argument. I found endurance. You kept going when stopping would have been fully understandable. You kept some form of belief alive when cynicism would have been the easier and more defensible position. You kept your heart from closing all the way when hardening it completely would have hurt so much less. You call what you have been doing barely surviving. I call it refusing to surrender. You call it struggling through. I call it perseverance of a kind that does not get recognized because it is quiet and it is private and no one else can fully see it. There were moments when you were genuinely close to giving up on the possibility that things could change. There were moments when you nearly let the lie that you were simply too far gone become the conclusion you'd lived from. But you did not. Even in your lowest moments, something inside you held on by a thread that you yourself could not fully identify or explain. But it was there. It kept you from collapsing all the way down. It kept you from becoming something you are not. That thread was faith, even in its most fragile form. And that is what moved me. Not your perfection, not the seasons of confident consistency, not the times when everything was working. Your endurance through the seasons when nothing seemed to be working. And you held on anyway. You thought I would look at your fear and find disappointment waiting in me. But I looked at your fear and found courage standing right beside it. You thought I would see your exhaustion and conclude something negative about your character. But I saw your exhaustion and saw someone who has been carrying more than was ever meant to be carried alone. You were never failing. You were enduring. And endurance is not a small thing to me. When I stepped inside your heart, I did not find emptiness. I found depth. I found a soul that has been shaped by difficulty, but not destroyed by it. I found wounds, yes, but I also found survival taking place in the same space as the wounds. I found longing still present and alive. I found a quiet desire to believe again. That has been waiting for a reason, to become something louder. That is what will surprise you when you receive what I found. Because you thought you were fading. You thought the truest and best parts of you were almost gone. But they are still here. And more than that, your heart is still alive, in ways that matter enormously. My child, do not carry shame about what I found inside you. Your pain does not push me away. Your fear does not produce distance in me. Your exhaustion does not result in disappointment. I am not surprised by what I found in the weak places. I am moved by what I found in the places that endured. You survived, you endured, and you are not finished yet. My child, there are battles you have been fighting that no one else has had full visibility into. Battles that did not leave marks that anyone could see from the outside, but that left your interior trembling. Battles that were fought in private. in the quiet of rooms where no one else was present, in the silence of moments when you thought you were entirely alone with what you were carrying. I was present for every single one of them. I did not step out while you struggled. I stayed. I saw you cry in a way designed not to be heard. I saw you press your face into something to muffle the sound. I saw you wipe your face quickly when you heard someone approaching, because the last thing you wanted was to have to explain what was happening. You became skilled at making these evidence of your pain disappear before anyone could ask about it. You learned to redirect tears before they could be witnessed. You learned to answer fine in the tone of voice that ends the inquiry. You learned how to smile through a weight that was sitting directly on your chest. But I heard the tears you never let fall at full volume. I felt the weight you were managing inside you. Those tears were not signs of weakness. They were evidence that you had not gone numb all the way. They were proof that your heart was still soft enough to feel what was happening to you. And every one of them that fell in private was witnessed by me. Not a single one went unnoticed or uncounted. I saw the anxiety you were fighting without assistance, the thoughts that arrived uninvited and would not leave on request, the fear that settled into your chest and made breathing feel like something that required effort, the nights when your mind would not slow to a speed that allowed rest, the constant internal preparation for worst-case scenarios that you were generating as a way of never being caught off guard again, the quiet panic that lived underneath the composed exterior you presented to everyone around you. You constructed that exterior because you had concluded that showing the fear would cause something important to collapse, so you held it inside. But I saw all of it. I saw the way your body carried what your face was not showing. I saw the way your stomach tightened in anticipation of disappointment before it even arrived. I saw how exhausting the maintenance of all of that was becoming. Anxiety is genuinely heavy, my child. It drains the interior life in ways that do not always show on the outside immediately. And yet you continued functioning. You maintained the appearance of being the one who could be counted on because others were depending on that appearance, and you did not want to be the reason something important failed. So you became the stable presence, the dependable one, the one others brought their weight to, while you managed yours in complete private. I was holding you upright during all of that. When your legs felt like they would not hold, when your thoughts began to spiral past the point where you could redirect them on your own, when you felt like the coherence of your life was closer to fragmenting than you could afford to let anyone know, I held the pieces together from the inside in ways you did not have language for and may not have recognized as anything other than having somehow made it through again. You fought battles inside your own mind that left no evidence for anyone else to find. You wrestled with the question of your worth in ways that were relentless and unkind. You replayed things you said and things that were said to you and decisions you made, looking for the error that explained the pain. You were severe with yourself in ways you would never be severe with someone else you loved. You set a standard for yourself that no one around you was being held to, and then measured yourself against it consistently. And still, I stayed. And still, I did not find you inadequate. There were moments when you sat still, and stared at nothing, and the weight of everything was fully present, but had no form you could address directly. You could not name it well enough to do anything about it. You only knew it was heavy. You only knew it was more than the current moment should be producing. And you told yourself to push through. I was present in every private moment of falling apart. I saw how close you came to deciding that hoping was simply not worth the cost anymore. I saw how tired you were of the cycle. I saw how close the door was to closing all the way. You thought if you simply stopped caring, the ache would stop too. But I would have felt that shift because I am more closely connected to your heart than your current understanding accounts for. You are not excessive for feeling deeply. You are not failing because your struggles are real and private and ongoing. You are human, and I never had an expectation that you would navigate everything alone without it affecting you. And yet you tried, and yet you kept going. If you believe that God is already working, even when you cannot yet see the answer, let that belief be something you carry forward from this moment and share this with someone who needs to know that they have not been left alone in their private battles, and that every tear they thought went unseen was witnessed and held